This is episode 313 of the Week in Review.
What's up, guys? The phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching Bretto live.
Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown from this past week are some of the most chaotic episodes of WWE I've watched. We're gonna start off by talking about Monday Night Raw from Providence, Rhode Island. Crowd was hot. Shout out to anybody in the crowd. Do I have any fans from Providence, Rhode Island? If so, let me know down in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's talk about Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Seth Rollins' faction wreaked havoc on this episode of Raw. Let's talk about everything. Alright, well, I thought we were gonna hear words from Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins barely got any words, because who would take the microphone from him? Braun Breaker, dude. I was like, whoa, is this the start of maybe Braun turning on Seth? It was not. Braun Breaker was just so frustrated with Sami Zayn that he needed to get some things off his chest, including how he wants to literally murder Sami Zayn. Then Bronson Reed would say a similar thing about Jey Uso. So Seth Rollins has his guys all amped up, ready to tear apart this episode of Monday Night Raw, and they absolutely did. They would just make a bunch of threats in this opening promo. I was like, oh my god, what's going on? Roxanne Perez looked for a little revenge on the girl that injured Liv Morgan. That being Kairi Sane, who's soaring in the air right there doing an elbow drop. I would say this match was alright. Little sloppy in the beginning, but it definitely started picking up towards the end. Kairi Sane would pick up the victory over Roxanne Perez, but the Judgment Day was salty. So Raquel's gonna jump in the ring, and here comes Roxanne. They do a little 2-on-1 beatdown, and then here comes Asuka! Little Kabuki Warriors reunion right here. They would fight off Roxanne, they'd fight off Raquel, and now they're being put into that fatal 4-way tag team championship match happening at Evolution. So good for the Kabuki Warriors, man. They got the best of the Judgment Day here. So Braun Breaker went one-on-one with Sami Zayn, right? Before Sami Zayn could even get in the ring and get ready for his match, here comes Karrion Kross again with the metal pipe. He cannot get enough of Sami. He's obsessed with Sami. I think he might have a thing for him. Say it, Sami Zayn, whatever the crap that means. So Sami Zayn, with already injured ribs, now has to fight this absolute beast of a man. Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker would spear Sami Zayn 3 different times, one reversing a springboard on the outside of the ring, and then a regular spear. It was absolutely insane. Braun Breaker would pin Sami Zayn and just absolutely demolish him. But now Braun's a little salty though, because Braun said, now what if people are gonna think Karrion Kross helped me here? I might need to fight Sami Zayn again. I might need to fight him again. Karrion Kross kind of made me look weak. I was like, ooh, good thought there from Braun. Was I the only one that actually really liked this promo between these 3 women, man? Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley are absolutely tearing it up in this storyline, man. I love Lyra Valkyria. She improves so much every time she comes out. Yeah, it's official. I think Bayley and Lyra's friendship is 100% over. Bayley would call Lyra Valkyria a select few words, pissing her off, and then it would all break down between these 3, ending with Lyra Valkyria on top. Lyra would Nightwing both Becky Lynch and Bayley. Going into Evolution for that Intercontinental Championship, she is already on top, bro. She's got a lot of momentum, man. This is going to be a good triple threat. I'm excited for it tomorrow. Jey Uso fought Bronson Reed one-on-one. I was thinking to myself, how in the hell is Jey Uso going to win this match? If they have him set to win, dude, how is Jey going to win this? How is he going to beat Big Bronson Reed? The match gets going, right? Jey Uso super kicks Bronson Reed out of his chair on ringside, which I thought was awesome. Bronson Reed would use that chair, launch it at Jey Uso, and then get disqualified. So technically, Bronson Reed did lose, and Jey Uso won by disqualification. So that's kind of cool. Bronson Reed would later hit a tsunami on Jey, and he looked to do more, but luckily Adam Pearce, Jason Jordan, a bunch of officials came out to break it up. So luckily, Jey Uso was not taken out of action like Sami Zayn was. Ludwig Kaiser, excuse me, El Grande Americano fought Dragon Lee one-on-one. This match was actually really good. I loved how Ludwig Kaiser was actually trying to wrestle like Chad Gable. It was so much fun. Michael Cole looking for the tattoo on the back of El Grande Americano, because Chad Gable has a tattoo there. He's like, it's not there, it's not there. I was like, oh my god. But not one time did they say that's Ludwig Kaiser. They mentioned things like blue eyes, but it was so funny, man. I actually enjoyed this match. Dragon Lee did a great job. In the end, Ludwig Kaiser would pull a Chad Gable, and he put the metal plate in the mask and knock out Dragon Lee with the mask. So I was like, bro, of course he uses the headbutt. Ludwig Kaiser keeping the legacy of El Grande Americano alive while Chad Gable is injured. Gotta love it. So Gunther for the past couple weeks has been talking so much crap about Goldberg, and Goldberg's done nothing about it. Gunther thought that meant that Goldberg's scared, but no. Goldberg pulled up in his Chevelle, he walked right down to the ring, and he punched Gunther right in the face. Literally decked him. Oh my god. Didn't let him spit a word. Knocked the microphone right out of his hand and knocked him out. Looked for the spear, but then Gunther hightailed, man. I'm so curious to see what's going to happen in their match tonight at the Saturday Night Main Event. This is actually a toss-up prediction video on the channel, but it is a toss-up, man. I do not know what's going to happen. And our main event of the show, the captain of the ship, Seth Rollins, fought Penta one-on-one, and I swear to God, bro, Penta had this in the bag. He hit the Mexican Destroyer. He hit the Penta Driver. He had Seth Rollins pinned for 3. Dude, hell, 10. He had him pinned for 10. But Seth Rollins would grab the rope. I'm like, bro, no. And then intentionally low blows Penta with his head. He didn't use his hand, so the referee technically can't disqualify Seth because he said it was incidental, but we all know that was intentional from Seth Rollins using his head to low blow Penta's balls. Seth takes advantage, takes out Penta, pins him 1, 2, 3, and looks to do some more damage with Breaker and Reed, but then here comes LA Knight to hit a quick BFT on Seth Rollins to end the show, so that was pretty good. So LA Knight with the momentum going into Saturday night's main event. As far as this episode of Monday Night Raw is concerned, I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. I thought it was a really solid episode of Raw. A lot of good wrestling here. Favorite match was probably Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. And my favorite moment's gonna be Jey Uso super kicking Bronson Reed out of his chair. That was so funny. What do you guys say we jump into the blue brand? That being SmackDown. Let's go. I can't explain to you how much I love a 2-hour SmackDown, dude. Knoxville, Tennessee just hosted Friday Night SmackDown here on this beautiful Friday, July 11th. We're reviewing it here on this beautiful Saturday. Yeah, tonight's the Saturday Night Main Event. Who's hyped? Not me. That's why I call it the Saturday Night Mid-Event. I'll review it tomorrow morning, but we'll see what happens there. In the meantime, let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown with Jelly Roll. Opening up the show with LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight's gonna talk about how he's gonna beat Seth Rollins' ass at the Saturday Night Main Event. We'll see about that, LA Knight. I feel like he's gonna have to go through Breaker and Bronson as well. So he's gonna get interrupted by Mr. Paul Heyman. Here comes Heyman, and there comes Solo Sikoa and his MFT. They're gonna rush the ring, look to beat up LA Knight after, Paul Heyman kind of hightailed. Solo kind of scared him away. Here comes Jimmy Uso, slides a steel chair to LA Knight. It's like, hey, I got your back, LA Knight. Let's fight in the main event at a tag match. Nick Aldis made a match. But as far as this opening promo, I found it kind of pointless. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of lame. Getting us excited here for Evolution with a Fatal 4-Way match. One member of each tag team from that Fatal 4-Way happening at Evolution was in this match. So you had Alexa Bliss, Sol Ruka, Kairi Sane, and Roxanne Perez. Great match, bro. Sol Ruka was kicking a lot of butt. I'm not too familiar with her, so seeing her go at it, obviously she's the North American champion of NXT, dude. The double Sol Ruka cutter was insane. That was really cool. Who would pick up the victory in the end? It would be Alexa Bliss. Here in this Fatal 4-Way, her and Charlotte looking pretty good going into Evolution, even though Alexa Bliss's shirt says, "We are not friends." You do not know how excited I am about this. We got new WWE Tag Team Champions, and it is the Wyatt Six. This was awesome. So Street Profits, the most boring tag team champions of all time, no offense, they lose the titles, and this felt great. So technically, the real tag team champions are Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. They are such a fun tag team to watch, man, seriously. So they will beat the Street Profits. It was kind of interesting, though, because Eric Rowan actually kind of cheated. He definitely got involved in the match while the referee's back was turned. So some heel tactics here from the Wyatt Six, definitely. But hey, whatever, any means necessary, man, to get those tag team championships. As you can see, that's the debut of the Dexter Lumis Wyatt Six figure. We still need the rest of them, but obviously we got to wait on Mattel. But hey, we got new tag team champions. This is great. The tag team division is afraid. That is for sure. So Jelly Roll was doing a musical performance here on this episode of SmackDown. Obviously, they were in Knoxville, his hometown. So Jelly Roll's just going to start freaking singing, bro. He just starts literally doing a musical performance. He looks great, by the way. Bro looks so much more slim since the last time I saw him on a WWE television. Like, bro, props to Jelly. Like, what an absolute inspiration. He looked amazing. He's going to get interrupted by Logan Paul, and Logan Paul has the nerve to say, "How dare you step in this ring? You're not even a wrestler." I'm like, excuse me, Logan Paul? Excuse me? And that even pissed Randy Orton off. So Randy Orton came on and got in the face of Logan Paul. But then that would lead to Drew McIntyre sneak attacking Randy with a Claymore. Oh my gosh, dude. And then Logan attacks Randy. Jelly Roll attacks Logan. This was just an all-out battle. The ultimate knife to the heart was Logan Paul destroying all of Jelly Roll's equipment and all of his singing equipment, his guitars, his drums, his amps. I'm like, oh my god. So Logan Paul destroys all of Jelly Roll's equipment, pissing him off. And I could possibly see that leading to a match at SummerSlam, not gonna lie. Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul. I mean, hell, I'd be down. Alright, so as you know, Aleister Black's been getting kind of screwed over by R-Truth the past couple weeks, and I'm fully on Aleister Black's side here. Like, literally, R-Truth has kind of been just, kind of just disregarding Aleister Black, like, getting in his way, interrupting his matches, and yeah, I don't blame Black one bit for wanting to get back at Truth, but he didn't. They had a one-on-one match, and R-Truth would roll up Aleister Black with ease and just beat him. Literally, I'm sorry, Ron Killings. He literally just beat Aleister Black like he was literally nothing. I'm like, what is this? Aleister Black looked like an absolute fool here. Tiffany Stratton said she's been scouting Trish Stratus by watching some old VHS tapes. I was like, ooh, what a dig at Trish, man. And then Trish is gonna come back and say, well, I've been catching up with you a little bit on TikTok. So that was actually a fun little promo there between these two. Wade Barrett was kind of the orchestrator of the promo. And then it led to Naomi coming out, and then Jade Cargill and her got into it at the stage. Nothing too crazy there. But yeah, just advancing some stuff here for Evolution. Not bad. And topping it off with our main event that was made in the beginning opening promo. Jimmy Uso and LA Knight versus JC Mateo and Solo Sikoa. Shocking to see Jimmy Uso actually get the pinfall victory over Solo Sikoa. That was actually pretty cool because obviously getting a lot of momentum. That means he's going to be gaining a lot of momentum going into Saturday Night Main Event. He's fighting for the U.S. title. So this was huge for Jimmy Uso getting the pinfall victory. So Jimmy Uso kind of hightails, escapes Tala Tonga and Tongaloa. But then who's remaining in the ring? LA Knight. And then LA Knight gets attacked by Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman. So just a lot going on in this episode of SmackDown. Like literally storylines at every turn. I swear to you, man, a lot to keep up with on this episode of SmackDown. Overall, not a half bad episode of SmackDown here from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I love how it's 2 hours, man. It feels like it flows way better. It's just, man, this was kind of a boring episode. Is that just me? But my favorite match is going to be the Tag Team Championship match. Wyatt Six, Street Profits, absolutely. And my favorite moment was probably Logan Paul destroying all of Jelly Roll's equipment, all of his instrumental equipment. That was funny. I hope you guys enjoyed this week in review. Enjoy Saturday Night Main Event tonight, and enjoy Evolution tomorrow, and I will see you all next time. Bretto Live is out.